Hello students, welcome back. Let's do Knowing Our Numbers exercise 1.2. This is found on page number 16. Question 1. A book exhibition was held for 4 days in a school. The number of tickets sold at the counter on the first, second, third and final day was respectively 1094, 1812, 2050, 2751. Find the total number of tickets sold on all 4 days. So we have exhibitions in our school, isn't it? So here this is one book exhibition which was held for 4 days and tickets were sold and there were different counters. So on the first day, 1094 tickets were sold. On the second day, 1812. The third day, 2050. And on the final day, 2751. Now, what have we been asked to find? We have been asked to find the total number of tickets sold on all 4 days. So, let's begin our statements. Number of tickets sold on the first day was 1094. Now these are all the statements that have been given to us. So number of tickets sold on the second day is 1812. Number of tickets sold on the third day is 2050. The number of tickets sold on the fourth day, 2751. So all this is given to us, okay, in the question itself. Now we're going to find out the total number of tickets sold. Now how do we find the total number of tickets sold on all 4 days? We have to add up these 4 numbers. So shall we do that? Let's add this up. We're going to add up all 4 and get our answer. We can add it up here itself. So let's begin now. 4 plus 2 is 6. 6 plus 1 is 7. So let's write 7 there. Then the next row, let's go to the next row here. 9 plus 1 is 10. 10 plus 5 is 15. 15 plus 5 is 20. So we put a 0 and we carry 2. Now let's add what is in the third column. 2 plus 8 is 10. 10 plus 7 is 17. So we put 7 and we carry 1. Now let's add the last row here in the thousands place. 1 plus 1 is 2. 2 plus 1 is 3. 3 plus 2 is 5. And 5 plus 2 is 7. So what do we have here? 7,707. So we have found the total number of tickets sold on all 4 days. And what is that? 7,707 tickets were sold. Question 2. Shekhar is a famous cricket player. He has so far scored 6,980 runs in test matches. He wishes to complete 10,000 runs. How many more runs does he need? So here we are talking about a famous cricket player in this problem called Shekhar. Now so far he has scored 6,980 runs, but he wants to complete 10,000 runs. Now how many more runs does he need from 6,980 to reach 10,000 runs? So let's begin our statements. Number of runs Shekhar scored 6,980. Number of runs he wishes to complete 10,000 runs. Number of runs needed to score 10,000 runs from 6,980. Now how do we find that? We find that by subtracting. We have to subtract 10,000 runs minus 6,980 runs. When you subtract these two, you will get the number that he needs to score 10,000. So let's begin that subtraction here. So 10,000 minus 6,980. So we're going to do the subtraction here. Let's borrow from 1. So 1 becomes 0 and this becomes 10. Going to borrow again from 10. So this becomes 9. Again 10, 9, 10. Okay. So 0 minus 0 is 0. 10 minus 8 is 2. 9 minus 9 is 0. And 9 minus 6 is 3. Okay. So what do we have here? He needs, now Shekhar needs 3,020 runs more to score 10,000 runs in test matches. So he needs 3,020 more runs to score 10,000 runs. Question 3. In an election, the successful candidate registered 5,77,500 votes and his nearest rival secured 3,48,700 votes. By what margin did the successful candidate win the election? So you know what elections are, isn't it? There are people standing for these elections. They are called candidates, and someone wins, someone loses. So here the person who has won is the successful candidate. Now, how many votes did he get? He got 5,77,500 votes. Now, his nearest rival, that is the person opposite in the opposite party, his nearest rival, he got 3,48,700 votes. Now, we need to find out by what margin did the successful candidate win the election. That means how many more votes did the successful candidate get than his nearest rival? Okay, so let's begin our statements. Number of votes secured by the successful candidate is 5,77,500. This is how much he got. Number of votes secured by his rival. His rival got 3,48,700 votes. Now the margin by which he won the election, we have to subtract these two. So he got so many votes, his rival got so many votes. Now if we subtract these two, we will know how many more votes the successful candidate got. So let's do that subtraction here. So 5,77,500 minus 3,48,700. So let's do the subtraction here. So we'll start with 0 here. This is 0 and then 0. Now 5 minus 7 we can't do. So let's borrow from here. This becomes 6 and this is 15. 15 minus 7 is 8. Then we have 6 minus 8. Again we can't do. We'll borrow. So this becomes 16. 16 minus 8 is 8. Now we'll do 6 minus 4 is 2. And here we have 5 minus 3 is 2. So we've got our answer. Now the margin by which the successful candidate won is 2,28,800 votes. So he got so many votes more than his rival. So the answer is the successful candidate won the election by 2,28,800 votes. Question 4. Kirti Bookstore sold books worth Rs 2,85,891 in the first week of June and books worth Rs 4,768 in the second week of the month. So in the first week they sold books worth so much. In the second week they sold books worth so much. How much was the sale for the 2 weeks together? In which week was the sale greater and by how much? So we have a few questions to answer here. First question is, how much was the sale for the 2 weeks together? So first week was so much, second week is so much. To find the sale for 2 weeks, we have to add up these two numbers. Then we have to find in which week was the sale greater. Now that you can look at the question itself and find out, isn't it? Now this was the sale in the first week of June and this is the sale in the second week of June. Which is the greater number? 2,85,891 or 4,768. So we know 4,768 is the greater number. That means the sale was greater in the second week of the month. Now we have to find out by how much. So let's start with the first part. Price of books sold in the first week of June is Rs 2,85,891. Price of books sold in the second week of June is Rs 4,768. Now to find the total sale, we have to simply add up these two numbers. So let's do this addition here. So 1 plus 8 is 9. 9 plus 6 is 15. So we write 5 and we carry 1. 8 plus 1 is 9. 9 plus 7 is 16. We carry 1 again. 5 plus 1 is 6. Then we have 8. 2 plus 4 is 6. So we have found our answer. It's 6,86,659. So the total sale for 2 weeks is 6,86,659. Now we have to answer the other part of the question. In which week was the sale greater? So the sale of books was greater in the second week. Now we have to say by how much. Now that is the difference in the sale in both weeks by subtracting these two numbers. This is the price in the first week and this is for the second week. Now if we subtract these two, we will know by how much the second week sale was greater than the first week. So let's do the subtraction. So we have 4,768 minus 2,85,891. So let's subtract these two. 8 minus 1 is 7. Now 6 is smaller, so we have to borrow from here. So this becomes 6 and this becomes 16. 16 minus 9 is 7. Now 6 minus 8 again you can't do, so you need to borrow all the way from here. So this becomes 3, 10 and 9, 10 and 9, and now this is 16. Now 16 minus 8 is 8. Then we have 9. 9 minus 5 is 4. 9 minus 8 is 1. 3 minus 2 is 1. So what do we have here? 1,14,877. So this is the difference in the sale in both the weeks. That means in the second week, the sale was more by rupees 1,14,877. So sale in the second week was greater than in the first week by 1,14,877. Question 5. Find the difference. Whenever we say find the difference, we are talking about subtraction. Find the difference between the greatest and the least 5-digit number that can be written using the digits 6, 2, 7, 4 and 3, each only once. Okay, now we have to use these digits only once each and form the greatest number and the least number and subtract the two to find the difference. So the given digits is 6, 2, 7, 4, 3. These are the digits given to us. Now the greatest 5-digit number using this. To form the greatest 5-digit number, we start with the greatest digit, that is 7, then 6, then 4, 3 and 2. And this time we will not put a comma after every digit. Then they all become 1-digit numbers. Here we can put the comma only in the right place, which is here. So this becomes a 5-digit number, 76,432. Now the least 5-digit number is the reverse order. Start from the smallest, 2, 3, 4, 6 and 7. So that is 23,467. Now let's find the difference. To find the difference, we have to subtract these two numbers. 76,432 minus 23,467. So let's subtract that. 76,432 minus 23,467. So we have 2 minus 7, we have to borrow from here. So this becomes 12. 12 minus 7 is 5. Now 2 minus 6 again we can't do, so we borrow from here. So that becomes 12. 12 minus 6 is 6. 3 minus 4 we can't do, we are going to borrow. So that becomes 13 minus 4. 13 minus 4 is 9. 5 minus 3 is 2 and 7 minus 2 is 5. So what do we have here? 52,965. So let's write that answer. 52,965 is the difference between the greatest and the least 5-digit number that we formed using these digits. Question 6. A machine on average manufactures 2,825 screws a day. How many screws did it produce in the month of January 2006? Okay, so in one day, 2,825 screws are manufactured on an average. Now we have to find out how many screws were produced in the month of January. Now we know that January has 31 days. So in one day, so many screws we have to find for 31 days. Let's begin our statements. Number of screws manufactured in a day, in one day, is 2,825. Now we have to find out how many screws were manufactured in the month of January. And January we know has 31 days. So if we have to find out how many screws were produced, we have to multiply 31 into 2,825. So number of screws manufactured in January is 31 into 2,825. So let's multiply that and see. So that will be 2,825 into 31. 1 5s are 5, 1 2s are 2, 1 8s are 8, 1 2s are 2. Second step, we multiply with 3, 3 5s are 15, we carry 1, 3 2s are 6 plus 1, 7, 3 8s are 24, carry 2, 3 2s are 6, 7, 8. Now we need to add up these and see what we get. 5 plus 0 is 5, 2 plus 5 is 7, 8 plus 7 is 15, carry 1, 2 plus 1 is 3, 3 plus 4 is 7, and we have 8. So 87,575. So in the month of January, 87,575 screws were made. So that is our answer. 87,575 screws were produced in the month of January 2006. Now, children, we will stop with this for now. In our next video, we will continue with the remaining questions. Thank you, children.